Two great segments so far, and now it is my pleasure to welcome in a local story, a local boxer who's 4-0 as a pro. Let's give it up for Sean Monahan. Sean, when did you get the boxing bug? Early in your life, and you got the goal to be a professional boxer?
Well, I've always loved boxing. As a kid, I remember my father and my uncles let me stay up late to watch Mike Tyson fight, and I wouldn't have to stay up too late because Mike would knock him right out. But I've always loved boxing, but I was kind of needed a push to go in the right direction. I was kind of wandering around. I was a Long Beach guy, and I kind of didn't know what I wanted to do with myself until I discovered boxing.
Doesn't being a boxer give you the discipline where you know you got to train, you know you got to watch your weight, you know you got to be dedicated? Talk about how boxing has made you, I would imagine, a much more dedicated person, because to get success, you have to be really dedicated to get to that level.
Oh, absolutely. Boxing is definitely not a casual sport. If you want to be successful in boxing, it's a lifestyle. You got to dedicate yourself to it. There's casual guys who go in there, and they might have a little bit of success, but if you really want to make it, then you gotta live it. I mean, I don't drink. I wake up every morning and I run. I don't really eat too much candy. It's very, I don't want to say a boring lifestyle, but it pays off in the end, because I'm gonna have memories for the rest of my life that no one else has.
Sean, we listened to George earlier talk about a great fundraiser. This town is so special because we went over the weekend. We covered a couple of great events over the weekend. The Long Beach Christmas Angels, who give money to the people in need. The Waterfront Warriors, who help military men overseas. So it's a real special town. Talk about starting your career and having the whole city of Long Beach behind you. What is that like, knowing that there's so many people rooting for you here in the city of Long Beach?
It's a beautiful thing. I mean, I'm so proud to be, the kid from Long Beach. When I come out in the ring, I wear a custom-made polar bear sweatshirt that they gave me, with my name on it. It says Long Beach, and it says the saloon, because my manager actually is one of the owners of the saloon, and the support I've been getting from throughout the town is just unbelievable. My first professional fight, I had 300 people show up, and we blew the roof off of the place, and the promoters couldn't believe it. So it's opening a lot of doors for me, because I could kind of call the shots when it comes to these promoters with the amount of ticket sales that I already have. And I've only got 4 professional fights.
Sean, before you go, I just want to make you a promise, okay? Before every single one of your fights, I want you to come on this show and promote your next fight. Is that a deal?
You got it, Howie. No problem, man. Sounds good to me.
All right, let's give it up for Sean. Local fighter makes good. All right, Sean, thanks a lot. We know you're going to have a great career.
Thank you, guys.
All right, guys. This show is going to be on YouTube. There's an article that appeared in the Long Beach Herald a couple of weeks ago, and it's about the great dancer Shannon Romig. And let's give her a round of applause for the great dancer from Long Beach, from the Hagen School of Irish Dance. Let's give it up for Shannon Romig. Shannon, first of all, at what age did you get into dancing, and when did you develop this passion for dancing?
Well, all my sisters, they all danced since they were about 5, and I know that they all loved it. I could tell how much they would come home from dance, and they would be hysterical laughing. They just had so much fun. And I talked to my mom about it, and when I was like 4 years old, I asked if I could be a dancer. So she took me when I was about 5. That's the youngest you can start the classes, and I got into it, and I absolutely fell in love with it, and I've been doing it ever since.
Let's talk about that. Like it said in the paper, dancing and making a difference. Talk about what it's like dancing at a hospital, cheering up people that are sick, bringing wigs to kids with cancer. Talk about the fact that you've taken your talent and helped so many people that really need a spirit lift. Talk about that. And I heard, dancing all over the country, from Arkansas all over. Talk about the fact that your talent has helped lift the spirits of so many people all over the country.
Well, dancing definitely takes a lot of time, and there's a lot of things that have to go into dancing, like the costumes and the wigs. And I remember I was cleaning out my closet over the summer and last year, and we came across so many just old wigs that were just of no use anymore. and we were getting ready to throw them out and everything, and my mom and I were talking, and we realized, why, there's something better that we can do with these. So, I went right online and I started Googling and calling organizations that would accept wigs and all these donations. And we came across one that gladly accepted all of our step wigs, so that was absolutely great. And we've raised over like 200 wigs, and it's been such a success. I remember the first time I brought a huge box into dance, and everyone brought their old wigs in, and that was just really great. It was really encouraging to see that all the other girls thought it was a really great cause, and they were willing to give a part of their past to someone else who really needed it. And we weren't sure how great this, it was going to be at first, but every time we go into the hospital, it feels so great just to know that we're doing something we love and something so different that they never really get to see. And it's so great, and you just walk out with a smile on your face every time, so it's great.
That's awesome. And let's talk about the Hagen School of Irish Dance. I bet all the people that dance, they all grow up, you love it, it's a passion. Talk about how this school is like, brought all you kids together and you absolutely love it.
Well, there's a bunch of different dancers. Some of us have been dancing together since we were 5, and even though we don't all live in the same towns and we don't go to the same schools, somehow when we're at dance, we find each other's strengths and weaknesses, and we all work together, and we always try to improve the one who's next to us, and we just work together as a family, and we become really close, and we're just not afraid to be who we are, make mistakes. So it's a really big part of dance, just being yourself, and everyone accepts you for who you are.
All right, let's give it up for Shannon. That's awesome. And Shannon, we have a big fundraiser coming up on the 4th, and how about you come down and dance for us on the 4th at Just Wing It?
Yeah, I would absolutely love that. That sounds absolutely great.
All right. Now it's time for the Long Beach Hockey Report with the Long Beach lady, Hockey Maven, who's not feeling well, so we appreciate her coming down, but she's a little under the weather. And let's give it up for the Long Beach Tracy, the Long Beach lady, Hockey Maven.
Thank you, Walter. As Howie said, I am a bit under the weather tonight, but I plodded all the way 1.5 miles down here to give you all the hockey report. I do want to wish a very happy birthday to my nephew, JD. He's 5 years old today. Going to make a hockey fan out of him as well. Story today, the Pittsburgh Penguins are on a 10-game winning streak. Sidney Crosby, love him or hate him, 16-game point streak. For him, a 2-point game is a disappointment. It's kind of a little scary. Steve Stamkos from Tampa Bay came out on fire. Crosby looked at him and said, "Yeah, all right." And he now, Sidney Crosby right now has twice as many goals as Alex Ovechkin. Ovechkin currently sits third in the scoring, and he needs to step it up. He can match Crosby's assists, but the goals, Crosby's just on fire right now, and it's just amazing. Getting Malkin is out right now. He has a sore knee, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with the Penguins. Marc-Andre Fleury, their goalie, he started off really slow. In the past 12 games, he is 11-0-1 with 1.65 goals against, so he's playing really well. And the Penguins they're really making a run. This is their second longest winning streak ever. I think their other one was 17 games. Don't quote me on that. Of course, I'm not feeling well. But that's the story right now. The Penguins are just absolutely on fire. They're a lot of fun to watch. Billy Guerin retired. He announced it last night with the Pittsburgh Devils game. As a matter of fact, Billy Guerin, he did win a Stanley Cup with the New Jersey Devils back in 1995, and then he also won a Stanley Cup with the Pittsburgh Penguins in 2009, so it was a very, very fitting time for him to announce his retirement after 18 years. He is a 5-time All-Star. He was on the U.S. Olympic team 3 times with the silver medal in 2002. So he has very good numbers, one of the best American One players ever. They'll be looking at him for the Hall of Fame, but he's not a lock. Just put it to you that way. I was, taking a look, speaking of All-Stars, I was looking at the All-Star voting today, and I found an interesting fact, and it turns out that Sean Avery actually has more write-in votes than Marion Gaborik has, and Gaborik's on the ballot. Avery's beating out Gaborik by about 22,000 votes, and he wasn't even on the All-Star ballot. I make no secret of my dislike of Sean Avery, but I was at the game Thursday night, and I actually had to vote for him as second star of the game up in the press box. He played very well. I mean, it's tough not to play well when you're on the line with Marion Gaborik, but when Sean Avery, when he keeps his mouth shut and plays this game, he knows what he's doing. So I had to give him credit. Howie, Tim Thomas, still playing great in goal. He's leading the league with a 1.46 goals against and a .956 save percentage, and it's just absolutely scary. He made a save in overtime. Did you see it against the Leafs the other night? Go to YouTube, look up Tim Thomas save on Francois Beauchemin of the Toronto Maple Leafs. It was tied 2-2 in overtime. Tim Thomas made this absolutely spectacular diving save, candidate for goal of the season. I'm sorry, save of the season. And then also, I want to remind you folks one more time, tomorrow night, next Wednesday, December 15th at 10 p.m., HBO 24/7, Road to the Winter Classic. They'll be focusing on the Washington Capitals and the Pittsburgh Penguins. They're playing January 1st, of course. The Winter Classic is the outdoor game every year, and it's just going to be so wonderful. You know, we had a boxer in earlier today, and on 24/7 they actually had Picayo Margarito was a 24/7 feature. Now, I used to box just for the workout, and I never watched it, but I really got into that show. I thought it was great to learn these guys and what they do and what makes them tick. So I think even if you don't like hockey, if you're a fringe person, you don't know, you got to watch this. If you have HBO, definitely tune in. You're going to learn a lot about these guys, and you'll see how much dedication it takes to be a professional athlete in the NHL. And that's the hockey report for this week. Thank you for bearing with me.
All right. Good job. Good job. All right, we're going to take a break, but before we take a break, a couple of announcements. First of all, we're thrilled to announce that this Thursday there's a big article coming up about the Broadcasting on the Beach show with Halftime Howie in the Long Beach Herald. So everyone, make sure you look for a big story about our show in the Long Beach Herald this Thursday. Thanks to Gavin Enright, we now have a Facebook page, the Halftime Howie Show on Facebook. Gavin did a great job setting that up. And an important note, we will not have a show next Tuesday. The reason being is we flipped an hour, so the Sports Exchange could do a 2-hour show next week. They're doing a great charity next week, talking about raising money for families of children who lost moms and dads who were killed in the line of duty. So they're having a 2-hour show. But we'll be back on the 21st with a 2-hour Christmas extravaganza here from Pechnick and Schaefer on the 21st from 8 to 10. So our next show is going to be a 2-hour Christmas extravaganza here at Pechnick and Schaefer from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. The Best of Long Beach Christmas special. It's going to be awesome. All right, after the break, we have a lot coming up from Long Beach High School. They have a great report. They brought in a musician, so stay with us. We have a lot of fun entertainment coming up after the break. We're live from Pechnick and Schaefer. I am Halftime Howie. This is Broadcasting on the Beach from Long Island's first and oldest radio station, WGN.